But where did Upper Iowa take me? You know, I graduated from Upper Iowa in on May 20th, 1978. Got commissioned. So I was immediately assigned to active duty. I was an air defense artillery officer. So I had the opportunity to go down to Fort Bliss, Texas. And I was down there probably 14 weeks, maybe close to 3 to 4 months. Went through the officer basic course, graduated from there. Went to airborne school, graduated from there. And in December of 1978, I show up to Schwabach, Germany. Schwabach, Germany is located in the Bavaria area, south about 7 miles or 10 miles, 10 kilometers southwest of Nuremberg. I leave Europe so I'm there, Germany from 78 to 81. I leave Europe in 1982, headed back to the United States, and I'm going to the career course. Well, I had the opportunity not to go to the Air Defense Artillery Advanced course at Fort Bliss, Texas, but rather Fort Benning, Georgia, and the School of the Infantry. All right, I went the Infantry Officer Advanced course, Ranger School, followed the Infantry Advanced course, and then I actually went back down to Fort Bliss, Texas for the Improved Hawk course. So the year of 82, I spent the whole year in school. I'm bouncing from place to place. I weighed 185 pounds when I entered Ranger School in June of 1978, graduating September 29th, 1980. Oh, excuse me. I went into school there in June of 1982, graduated in September 29th of 1982. I started at 185. I graduated at 140. Lost about 45 pounds. Went to Fort Bliss, Texas. Then ultimately got assigned to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and worldwide deployment. When I say worldwide deployment, that's exactly what you got when you go to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, or Fort Bragg, North Carolina. For many of you that were around, if you weren't around, October 23rd, 1983, we were up in the air, trying to figure out where we were going, and we were going into a little island, West Indies, called Grenada. All right, we went in to rescue college students at St. George's College in Grenada, medical students, and liberate the government of Grenada. You know, one thing I did have here at Upper Iowa, in 1976, for many of you, if you look at the history there, I don't know if you remember the famous track star back in 1936, I may have my year wrong, it may be 32, in Germany, Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens came to Upper Iowa in 1976. Right here in Garby, in the lobby, spoke to a bunch of students, just in general, just about the history of what he had endured as a black athlete, all right, in a tough era during the Olympics, that specific Olympics. That was the first most prominent person I ever met. I want to say that my proudest moment, although I've been I was in the military for 11 years and I've been doing security for the last 25 years, contract security, where I've been providing security services, and I've held a lot of positions in my life, you know, and the way I put it, I put my pants on the same way as the next man. And you know, although I know what my title is, or might, you know, and I've held some real good positions, I try not to fall back and figure out what the title was versus what the service that's needed, the service that you need to provide. I want to say my 4 years here at Upper Iowa, I didn't see too many students get themselves in trouble. Over this last week in homecoming, let me tell you, I was very impressed with the energy of the students, the student body, the faculty, the energy that your president, Dr. Duffy, portrays. I mean, you're talking about a man who really cares about his university and the lifestyle and the life of the kids that are under here. It's similar. You've got a lot of energy, a lot of young energy, all right, in various staff positions here. And I saw that this weekend. I saw it today. You know, I've tried to meet as many students as possible. Tomorrow's going to be a hard day for me to get on a plane in Waterloo, Iowa. Go home. Because I know reality will set back in, and it's time to go back to work. But I'll tell you this, I go home with a lot of energy because I've been back to Upper Iowa. Upper Iowa is a place where you find the best in a family. I talk to you from a man who's been to Europe, Grenada, West Indies, Honduras, Central America, Cairo, Egypt, Ethiopia. I've seen many states, and I'll tell you one thing, there's nothing like the Midwest. You know, again, big time boy. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college. Could have probably gone to West Point, like Doc, but my dad was, who didn't serve in the military, was so anti-military. I joined the ROTC program here at Upper Iowa my sophomore into my junior year, and I think my dad was a little miffed with that. I wore the uniform for about 3 years before he actually saw me wear the uniform. The day I graduated from college, my dad was in the hospital. And so the following day, we flew to New York, all right, to visit him in the hospital. And on the subsequent day, we went to Puerto Rico, a honeymoon. Acacia fraternity meant a lot to me here while I was here at Upper Iowa. When I was here at Upper Iowa, the admissions building, you had Graff Hall, you had the admissions building, it was a little house right there, right off of here, off of Dorman, and you had Acacia, a big yellow building that kind of stood out. You had the Brotherhood had a building. You had the Teak, they had a building. Now you're in terms versus, or quarters versus semesters. We were in semesters back then. A lot different, all right? Today you have technology that we didn't have, all right? I'm going back to that. You have technology that we didn't have back then. Back then, I'm gonna tell you something, if you had a 20-page paper due, by golly, you better be a good typer, all right? Or you better have a girlfriend that can type good for you, all right? That is no lie, seriously. And there was no such thing. I think correcto-type came in there somewhere along the lines. Because if you made a mistake, hey, that page goes out the window, start over, try to figure it out. But there was no such thing then. You know, what I offer you is that you work hard, you continue to work hard here at school. Upper Iowa afforded me a lot of things that I've done in life. If it were not for Upper Iowa, I don't know where I would be. I came from a tough neighborhood, but I had some very caring parents. My father's no longer with me. My mother's still there. She's still in Long Island. She's still in the same house. She's been there 51 years. All right, she'll turn 80 in March. But, good family values. And one thing, you always treat somebody the way you want to be treated, with respect and dignity. All right? Because I find that if you treat somebody with respect, you will get respect in return. All right? You can't, that's not something that you just, you demand. You have to earn it, and just be professional at all times. I'm going to tell you something. When Firmo Lopez was on this campus, you can probably go back and see some historical pictures. I had my hair way out here. I was a wild guy. I had the mustache. From the age of 18, I've maintained this type of haircut. I'm 58 years old, folks. I'm not a young kid anymore. All right, but I'll tell you this. On your way out the door, when you graduate from Upper Iowa, when you're looking to the future, make sure you look in the direction and get a job that ultimately down the road, all right, there are benefits, all right, and there's a retirement, all right, because you can do something beyond that particular 20, 30, 40 years. I was an RA my last 2 years, at Garvey. I was an RA as a junior. I was an RA as a senior. I earned that. That wasn't something that was given to me. That was earned through just hard work, dignity, respect. Respect goes a long way. Don't ever lose sight of your surname. All right, your last name. Because when you lose sight of that, that's something that you can lose. That's the only thing that you can relinquish. is your name. All right? Stay focused, stay the path. You know, good things will happen for you. Again, I can't thank Upper Iowa enough for what they did for me. It's been a pleasure being here on your campus, Dr. Duffy, your campus, over the last 4 or 5 days. I'm going to hate getting on that plane in Waterloo, Iowa, and go back to Washington, D.C. At this point, you know, I'm going to cut it off, and I'm here for your questions. You know, I really have enjoyed my weekend with my fellow Acacia brothers, with the students here on campus, and I'll tell you, I didn't see anything but just positive energy. And in the famous words of Stephen Arson, it's a great day to be a peacock. A great day to be a peacock, you know. I mean, I was on Facebook today, and I thanked my Acacia brothers, and I thank Peacock Nation for just allowing me to be here. You know, it took 36 years to get here. Initially, I said, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it again. And that's not true, because I have to come back, because I see improvements happening daily here. Seriously, I mean, and from the time I got back on campus, everybody treated me like gold. You know, like they knew me. Enjoy your time here at Upper Iowa and get your degree. Get what I call the union card. That's what I call it. It's the union card. Everybody has to have the union card. And then down the road, make sure that your path takes you to a future that has benefits, that has a retirement. And then whatever else you want to do after that, it's gravy. Again, thank you. Appreciate it.